Hi guys, I'm Yzabel Castillo and I'm here to discuss about my infographic which is entitled as Ways to Eliminate Common Risk and Hazard in Hospitality Industry. But before that, let me define you what is the difference between the risk and hazard. Risk is the possibility of something bad that may happen, and it is something that can potentially cause harm, while hazard is the exposure to danger. And that's it. Let's go to the video. So the first one is the burns and scalds. We all know that we can't avoid this kind of accident in the hospitality industry, especially on food and beverages industry. Since all of them are in the kitchen area, they are prone to burns and scalds. But we can avoid this accident with these ways. First is we should remember to wear appropriate protective equipment because safety should always come first before anything, and this equipment will keep you safe from hot things that can cause burns and scalds. Next is when in the kitchen area, keep stove away from any flammable material because it can cause fire, and also the pot holders, dish towels, or curtains because it can easily catch fires. So keep it away from the stove area. Second one is the hazardous chemicals. This type of hazard can cause harm to a person, especially when it gets contact on people's skin or food. But we can avoid this type of hazard in these ways. First is store hazardous chemicals in one storage and away from food or drink section because there is a possibility that it can mix on foods that you will serve on a guest. And when this happens, it can cause serious illness and worse, death. So we should separate it far from the food and drink section. Second is the use protective equipment when using hazardous chemicals. So, when using hazardous chemicals, make sure to use protective equipment like gloves to prevent contact on the skin. The third one is slips, trips, and falls. This accident is very common in the hospitality industry, actually everywhere, because it is like anything can be hazard of this accident, especially on the food industry. When during rush hours, everyone is busy and not aware of the spills on the floor, for example, then someone will step on it so it can cause slips and leads to serious injury. So to prevent these accidents, follow these simple ways. First is keep walking surfaces clean and free from clutter. It means that anything that can cause slips, trips, and falls should be removed immediately to avoid injuries. Second is clean up spills immediately. As I said a while ago, this kind of things should be removed immediately for the safety purposes. Third is wear non-slip footwears. Wear this kind of footwears to avoid any kind of injuries. For the fourth one, which is the electrical wires. We all know that electrical wires can cause electric shock when it's exposed to moisture or water, and it can cause fires when the wires heat up. This can avoid by doing these ways. First one is by minimizing the potential of water or chemical spills near electrical equipment to prevent fire and for the safety of all the employees. Next is the using waterproof covers to protect the wires from moisture, and this will prevent accidents caused of wires. The fifth one is the manual handling. This one can also cause injuries to the employees because of improper lifting, and this can prevent by doing these ways. First is ask help from someone when lifting heavy loads. When lifting heavy loads, don't force yourself to lift it. Hence, Ask help for someone so that the loads that you are lifting will be divided. Second is by lifting heavy loads properly to avoid injuries. Improper lifting is one of the causes of injuries in hospitality industry. So, you should lift heavy loads properly. And for the last one is the machines and equipment. This is also a hazard when it is handled improperly. This can avoid through wearing proper protective equipment and using machine. This will protect you from any harm from the equipment. And next is by providing appropriate training and guidelines to employees. This should be done because to be able to know the proper usage and the purpose of the machines to prevent any accidents. Of my infographic, I hope you learned something from the video. Thank you!